Hi, welcome to another edition of Papa Marucci Cooks for Family and Friends. This is a very special edition because Willa has invited us over to her house as we celebrate her new baby brother, Grant Henry. And here he is. All right. And we've decided with such a distinguished name as Grant Henry, we had to come up with a dish that would match that cachet. So today's dish we are going to be preparing, and Willa's already working on it right now, is Oysters Rockefeller. All right, we are finishing up our spinach. Willa is doing fine work. Chelsea and I are helping her out now, and we're going to be ready to make our filling. All right, so we are now going to start our filling for the Oysters Rockefeller. We have about a half stick of butter bubbling away here over medium-low heat. I'm going to throw a whole garlic clove in there just to kind of mildly flavor it as opposed to just chopped garlic. I am going to take this big pile of shallots. This is about 2 shallots. I'm going to finely mince them, and we're going to toss that in as soon as this butter starts going, which it is now. All right, so into the pan go the shallots. We're going to cook this for about 1 minute. Okay, so this has been about a minute, so they're soft and cooking. We're going to put in, I would say, about 12 ounces of de-stemmed by Willa spinach into the pot here. We're going to cook this down. This will take a few more minutes, and see you then. Okay, so the spinach is cooked down for about 5 minutes. We're now going to add about a tablespoon of Pernod. It's from Paris. So we're going to let that cook out. It's kind of got a, what would you say, a licorice kind of? Anise. So we're going to put a little splash of that. Since Willa's going to be tasting this, we've got to cook that out. We don't want to get her on the wrong track tonight. So we'll let that kind of cook out for a little bit. Now, Oysters Rockefeller was a dish that was invented in Antoine's restaurant in New Orleans over 100 years ago. I think the restaurant's like 150 years old. This isn't the exact recipe. We are ad-libbing here, but anyway, it's making it our own by doing a few things here. Once that's cooked out, the alcohol's cooked out of this, I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of cream and cook that down for about 12-15 minutes. Okay, while the spinach mixture is cooking down, Willa and I decided to come and get going on our next course. So what we've decided to do is do 1 dozen raw oysters, and we made a little mignonette sauce that I could include a recipe on the Papa Marucci Cooks website. We're going to do a little bit of stuffed mushrooms. We're going to take some of that mixture, and Willa's brushing those off right now. And the other ones, we're going to do 1 dozen Oyster Rockefeller. Here is how we want to shuck these oysters. I've already got going on them a little bit. This is a cut-proof glove. Usually I just use a towel, but I figured if as soon as I did it on camera and I had a towel, I was going to probably slice my hand. So I got one of these. They're super cheap, like $6. Oyster shucking knife. There's a little kind of a hinge right there at the end. You want to carefully just wedge that. Oh, I happen to grab a good one too. Woo! Just kind of jar it loose. From the top, you cut the top flat shell off there, and bada bing, you're in business. So we'll get going on those and be ready soon. Okay, so this is reduced probably by about half. We did it maybe 15 minutes or so. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to remove the garlic clove. We don't need that anymore. That flavored, it's done its job. We are going to add, I'd say 3/4 cup of Romano cheese, a few grinds of pepper, and I'd say, I don't know, just a little pinch of salt. The cheese is pretty salty. The oysters will have that salt water flavor too. So we're going to mix this up. let it cool to room temperature, put it in the refrigerator for a little bit, and then keep shucking some oysters. All right, so now I'm gonna put the stuffing on these. Willa will top the oysters off with some panko breadcrumbs. We are gonna pop this in a 450-degree oven for 15 minutes, and when they come out, we'll be ready. Excellent job. Okay, so the oysters and mushrooms, we're cooking for about 15 minutes, so here we go. We're looking for a golden brown on top. So we're starting to get that golden brown there on the mushrooms. And here is the oysters. If you have rock salt, you could probably put that around there before you put them in there to hold them steady, but it looks like some of the cheese sauce dripped. But anyway, I think this is a excellent dish in honor of Grant Henry. In fact, we may even change the name for us to Oysters Grant Henry. Why not? We can do whatever we want. We made up our own recipe, right? So anyway, or maybe we'll name the mushrooms after them. Who knows? All these recipes are at papamaruccicooks.com. Thank you again. Please feel free to look up the recipes when you're hosting family and friends. That's what it's all about. Buon appetito.
Usually we do.
Can I have more oysters?
Of course you can.